Okay, well here we are in video 3, and what we're going to do in this video is follow up on the city that we selected, Houston. So the criteria that we have selected here are basically the same, though mainly just for the city and for the number of units. And we'll leave cap rate open because we just want to see everything that's available in that range of units. So we'll go down and we'll search. Okay, so here we have the listings. There are 21 listings. So as we look through these listings, what we're looking for are vacancy, indications of motivation, like below market rents, indications in the descriptions of seller motivation. And we have a 95% occupied building, so it's not really that's not really a prospect. So we got a 6.5% cap. That's a pretty low cap rate. I'm just assuming this is a Class B or Class A building, which it looks like. And as we can see here, occupancy of 94.7%. So not something that's anything we're going to be interested in. And just looking down the side here, we're looking at the cap rates. What we can see is 8%, 9.82, 8%, 8.6%, 9% cap rate, 10 cap, here's our 10 caps, and 11 cap, 14 cap. So let's have a look at these. %90 occupancy. And we'll have a look at the 11 cap property here. 96% occupancy. Okay, I think what we're looking at here is Houston looks like, let's just have a look at one more. 9.8 cap, and for Class C properties, I believe Houston is about 9 cap is the market cap rate. And one more time, 94% occupancy. So every property, virtually every property listed is above 90% occupancy, and that would indicate Houston is a market with plenty of demand. And based on the job growth and the population growth we looked at yesterday, with the information that we've got added here today on the listings and what's available, it seems that, well, it's more than seems, it's obvious that Houston is, it's not a market to work in. It's well into the expansion phase of the real estate cycle. And if anything, by the looks of the listings available, it's a market that's pretty hot at the moment. Just about every property that has any element of distress has been bought up, turned around and stabilized, and is now back on the market at market cap rates, looking for an institutional buyer to buy it. So as far as the criteria that we were using, I think Houston, by the look of this, Houston probably popped onto our radar screen by virtue of the fact that it does have such a great population. And the properties that are available in that cap rate range are the stragglers, and there's just so much volume and so much activity going on here due to the hot market that those are the those are the ones that are unattractive to the institutional buyers. So this is not a market that we're going to pursue. There's no openings here. So let's go back. Let's go back and take a look at the cities. The other cities that we had was with 3 properties over 10 cap. So St. Louis and Memphis. St. Louis had quite a bit of negative population growth, so I wouldn't really consider that. Memphis, from what I remember, was about static. It wasn't going up, wasn't going down really. It's just flatlining. So let's go back and take a look at Memphis. And as we can see here with Houston, yeah, in hindsight now looking at it, we've got this consistent population growth with a little dip for the financial crisis, but then it just continues up. So it's well into its expansion phase. So if we look at Memphis, and yes, it's basically flat. We've got this late 1990s population increase, which I'm not sure what that was, and all throughout these years of the 2000s, it's basically flat up until the financial crisis where there was a dip. And it looks to be a gentle rise with a ever so slight dip last year, but it's basically flat. So without any indication really of population growth, let's look at job growth statistics for Memphis to see what light that can shed on the prospects of it being a good market for us. Okay, so the Bureau of Labor Statistics information is what we want to look at. Okay, and what do we have? We have the unemployment rate. And this is starting from March through August. 6 months. So it's about 8% on average over these few months. 8%, which is above the national average. But let's look at the actual job growth. So total non-farm percentage change over the last 12 months. It's ever so slight increase over the last 12 months. Mining, logging, construction jobs. It's about even. I mean, we've got some negative there, some positive. It's about even. Manufacturing jobs. It's basically positive. We've got a increase in manufacturing jobs over the last 6 months. Transportation, utilities. Small increase. On average, 1% increase. Information jobs. Probably in the aggregate, it's a small loss of information jobs, but basically the same. Probably evens out. Financial activities, jobs associated with finance. Big increase. 5%, 7%, 8%. So there's a lot of financial activity going on. A lot of jobs in finance. So probably a lot of mortgage brokers, finance associated jobs associated with providing finance. Professional and business service. Increase. We've got a pretty solid increase there over the last 6 months. Education and health services. I would say we've got a decrease there, probably about 1% decrease over the last 12 months. Leisure and hospitality. There was 1 month it went down slightly, but it's basically an increase, average about 2% over the last 12 months. Other services. So that's an increase. And in government jobs, it's a decrease. So Memphis is government jobs being lost in Memphis right now, which to my mind that's a good thing. But overall it looks like there's a small increase in job growth in Memphis overall, 1 to 2%, and small, but it's there. So the economy is growing, job growth is on the increase. But let's look at it in terms of what properties are available, given that we've established there is job growth to the small degree that's there. It is there. And let's just look at these listings with a view to what we saw in Houston. We're looking for properties with vacancies 20% and above, indications in the listings of seller motivation, ideally people offering owner financing, all of the indications that you've got seller motivation going on. So what do we have? On the very first listing, owner financing available. 172 units. Okay, let's see. What do we have? Occupancy 30%. Occupancy 30%. So 70% vacancy. Okay, great value add. Opportunity, motivated seller, owner financing, plenty of rehab needed. Couldn't read more perfectly. Okay, this value add property. Let's see what we have here. The building currently has 42 down units that need significant renovation. So 42 out of 96, that's about 50% vacant. Okay, so that's 2 for 3. $172 units, 46% occupancy. Okay, I think we're starting to see the trend here. There's plenty of opportunity, plenty of deals here in Memphis, in stark contrast to Houston, where we have almost the direct opposite situation. Almost every listing we've looked at here is high vacancy. It's a value add opportunity. Sellers are motivated, they can't sell the properties due to the vacancies. So we're going to change our focus from Houston and focus on Memphis as the target market to work in. And in the next video, we're going to just briefly go through a few of the strategies that we'll be using to buy the properties and also potential exit strategies. So we'll look at that and then we'll start looking at the individual listings themselves. Talk to you then.